Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing fantastic. Fantastic. Just making sure we're live here. Good. All right. All right. So, I'm back, as promised. We're going to pick up where we left off yesterday. For those of you who stopped in, you may have seen me work on this seal song, which has a whole other meaning to it. Don't worry, the song's not going to be about seals. Working title, I'm sure we all have those. I am notoriously bad at naming my songs or song ideas, what have you. Again, similar to the prior to starting last night's live stream, I did a little behind the scenes work because I sat down to get things going, and as I listened to it, as you guys maybe relate to, I had an idea and I didn't want to lose it, so I just immediately tried to lay it down. I'll show you some of the changes that I ended up making, but ultimately the song is really coming together. I think we're actually at the point now where we can maybe start putting thematic ideas together and start generating some lyrics and melody lines and all that really fun stuff, where the magic really starts to happen. Because a great song, a great pop song without great lyrics and great melody is not really all that interesting to most people. So although this does land in the world of synthwave, which a lot of times can be lean a little bit more heavily on instrumental, I like to bring more pop elements into it with regard to structure and, of course, lyrics and thematic content and all that stuff. So that's what we're going to be doing. Let me show you. Oh, and then what we need to do here is just refine some of our sounds. We need to add some what I call energy builders, so rises, crash cymbals, these kinds of things. And then also I want to start mixing because I'm combining a lot of different synth sounds. And when synths, especially like 80s style synths, whether they're Junos, Jupiters, anything like that, Moogs, they live in they're mid-range instruments, right? And so the mid-range, when you start to stack synths on top of synths to get more intricate sounds, the mid-range really starts to build up. And so we'll start going in and carving out some space so that these synths can start to live together harmoniously. And also I'm going to do something here. I'm going to show you what I've done thus far that's a little bit different from where we left off yesterday to catch you up to speed. And then we'll go into a little mix technique using a plugin that's going to help with attack. So it's like a sustain. You'll see plugin that can help with some of these plucks that I really would like to stand out a little bit more in the mix. Even though we're not really mixing, anybody who says they don't mix as they go is kind of lying. I really try not to mix as I go because you can get in the weeds so quickly with mixing, and when you're trying to create, I look at mixing as friction, and I think songwriting should be frictionless or as frictionless as possible to free you up to be as creative as possible. So, but now since we're nearing kind of the end and I still have to write a bridge, of course, but as we're getting closer to the end, we can start mixing because these sounds are all starting to build on top of each other. And before you know it, it can get out of hand rather quickly. So trying to avoid that at this point. So let's dive in. Let me switch here, get OBS out of the way. And if you weren't here yesterday, this will sound brand new to you. But if you were here yesterday, then you remember this. Let me show you some of the parts that are different. I'm going to play it, and then as we get to the parts that are different, or that I made adjustments to and changes to, I'll point them out. So as you remember, or maybe not, we start with some thematic sounds, seagulls and beach sounds. And then we loop around again. And that's kind of the, and then once we get through the second chorus there, at the end of the session there, we're going to have to put a bridge on there. But you'll notice two major changes. Actually, the chord progression, as it were, kind of changed. This was... I moved this bass line up. It used to be here. So it was... And I just liked the motion this gives it better. Right? And then, of course, I had to move, because the bass follows the root note of the chords, so I had to, of course, adjust the bass. So that was a big distinction between yesterday's version and today's version. But probably the biggest distinction is I don't remember if I did this in the stream, but I finally found the right instrument for this kind of synth orchestra pad. Really catchy, and that just plays in unison with the other synths at this point, but it has that little fill line, right? But the biggest difference is at the end of this build-up, we add another bar where we're holding out. We go from the major, we switch to the major back, or the suspended chord to the major chord. And I think that just adds so much energy, and it gives a big break between the big end of the chorus into the tag before the next round of verses. I just heard in my head, I think there should be not that. I think that there should be another hit on the 4. Right? I don't know if I timed that right, but let's see. Yeah, I timed that wrong. Let's get the click on. That feels better. And again, we got to add crashes and things to bring it some energy. What we really need is like a... I wonder, let's open up Superior Drummer real quick and see if I can load in some bigger tom sounds, some bigger 80s sounding tom sounds. I don't know why everything... Oh, it's the second snare, so it's... Yeah. See what we can come up with here. And we can maybe turn it down. Something like that. Right? Give it a little more weight, which I think sounds good. I want this pan to the right. That's got a weird, you hear that? It's got a weird ring to it. That's what I'm talking about. Cool. That brings some energy. Okay, so I don't know what I want to do. Let's just do what I thought of first. So first of all, these little plucks in the ear candy, if you will, in the choruses, or excuse me, in the verses, need a little bit more attack on them. So we're going to use a plugin to help with that. And plugin that I'm thinking, there's two. One is made by SPL. You guys, if you've spent any time in this space, you've undoubtedly seen it. And it is called, where are you? Where the hell is it? Okay. Cool. Well, that's not the one I wanted to use anyway. What the hell is that plugin called by SPL? It's a transient designer. Native Instruments has one that I really like, though. It's pretty simple. Transient Master, it's called. And we can just up the attack maybe a bit, take the sustain down just to really bring out these plucks. So if we get rid of that. Yeah. A little bit legato sounding, more legato. Now, I've already turned the attack up in the synth itself. Otherwise, you know, we start there, and sometimes that does the trick. Let's hear these two together now. Without them. I don't need the reverb tails. I'm just looking for the pluck. Plus, there's going to be vocals over this. It's just kind of a little something. You notice I have two different synths, two different instruments going. And honestly, now that I'm listening to it a little bit, because it's a stereo instantiation of said plugin, when you pan like the both left and right channel left and vice versa, the reverb folds back on itself and it sounds goofy and I don't like it at all. So what we're going to do is just ditch the reverb and delay built in to the patch itself, and then we will provide our own. That will make it, first of all, it'll bring them together and sound a little bit more cohesive, but also, let's see, sound more clear. What am I looking for? Here we go. Plate, dry, and delay, dry. Still getting something on that one. we got it. That works. And let's get in here and just add a bus. We'll call it bus, I don't know, 20. And we'll call this pluck verb. And we're going to use Valhalla. Valhalla Supermassive might be interesting. Got this plugin for free once. Long time ago. Let's see what we got here. Let's go medium, that might be. Okay, not the sound I was really chasing. I do want Valhalla, but I will end up just using vintage verb. We'll go with an 80s, and I kind of like to start with a plate, or we can go to ambience, like a smooth plate. A feature that a lot of people don't use on this plugin is you can kind of shape it. I could do that with EQ after the fact, but a lot of times you don't have to. Like the high cut, there's kind of this weird sound up top. See? And we could cut the lows. And it'd be the same as if you put like an EQ plugin after it, right? And you just kind of did like a bell filter. It's kind of the same idea, right? We're doing a low cut at 550 or so, high cut about 35. And now we can play with the time of it. And if you make it too long, it starts to build up on itself a little too much. That sounds much cleaner than the way we had it before. So I'm very happy with that, at least for now. Let's talk about cleaning up some of these frequencies. As you may see here, in fact, I'm going to make this a little bit easier to understand for myself even. All of these synths, not named properly. I'm just bad at naming things lately. Call this pluck 1, pluck 2. All of these synths are running through, it's a folder, right? A summing folder though. So they're all running through this bus. And that's fine. That's how I like to mix. I'm a top-down mixer typically, or producer, or both. So all like instruments are summed together, and then the sums of those sums are sent to the mix bus, where everything is then processed. It allows me to process batches of instruments together. However, when you are summing together this many synths, as I mentioned in the outset of this video, because they are mid-range heavy instruments, that energy starts to build up in the middle quite a bit. So it's important then to make sure you're paying attention to that, so that when they all reach the mix bus, they aren't the mid-range isn't so overwhelming. So for example, if we start on this one. This is basically the main synth sound that carries through. I like FabFilter Pro Q. I should get Pro Q4. I don't know why. It does the same. I mean, this plugin has done the same thing since Pro Q1. You know what I'm saying? So let's just loop this for a sec. And you can see this mid buildup, right? Mid-range buildup. And all this low energy down here. I'm not I'm not one of the high pass everything people, but with synths I am, because we have a synth bass and it's an eighth note bass, dun 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 dun, and I've shortened the attack on that as much as possible because I need the transient, the pluck at the beginning of the bass hit to really punch, and it's a lower range instrument, obviously. So if I can clean up some of the bass response from the synths, that will help make my bass have more impact, and it will make it play nicer with the kick when I get in there. And I really like to use a dynamic, something like this, so it's reacting to the source material. And then there's something here. Now that does sound a little thin on its own, arguably, but watch what happens when we pull the bass back in. And now we can kind of reshape this a little bit. Actually like that. There's something else I'm hearing then. And remember, because there's so much mid-range in each instrument, they are building up on top of each other. So it's a lot of times when you're EQing instruments to help them fit, it's important to not do it in solo, but to have them all kind of playing alongside one another. So let's hear this synth, which I'll start in solo. This is obviously a lot more up. I kind of like the shimmer, but not that much of it. And because these two are essentially the same thing, I'm going to just copy that one over. And then lastly, let's hear this bad boy. Now this is going to sound weird, but this is up an octave. It's the same part. I actually like a little bit of the low body that this higher octave synth gives. Getting some weird fold back here. So I'm actually going to enhance it. All right, let's hear the synth group now all together. I've lifted it out of the darkness, the mud. With the bass. I think I've taken a little too much low end out of this. This bass is another instance where like a transient designer would really help. I need this to hit. Yes, getting there. All right, let's hear how these sound now. There's some inconsistency here, I think, in the performance. Yeah. We will be adding some compression to this just to get everything to play nice, but let's just hear it. It's easier to place when everything is a consistent volume, which is all really a compressor's doing anyway, right? Again, this is another instance where I want this to poke through a little bit. Let me check what my attack is doing. We can shorten the attack on this a little bit. Yeah, that helps a lot. All right, guys, hang tight. I'm going to take a short break here. My wife is having a absolute brain fart of a moment. I got to help her with something real quick. So hang tight. I'll be back. All right, I'm back. Apologies for that. Okay. Let's do some fun stuff. Let's build some energy into the drums. We're going to do that with some crashes to start. Not a great selection here. Cool. I think, let me load battery up. No, I don't know if I have crashes. Let me see. Doesn't hurt to look. Let's see if we have some crash samples up. Maybe we can load in. I got to stop using battery, you guys. You'll see why. As I launch this, it is just, I've tried everything to fix this and I can't. So, okay, cool. But when I hit skip missing, I come in here. Any sort of kit I load, it will delete, but I can still come in here. So I got hats, kick snares, toms. These are from Splice. Let's go up a level. Drum loops, no. This is so funny. You can see some of the random ass shit that I name my songs. Nope. Let's go. All right. Let's go into Splice and actually see what we can find. I know in my Splice library, they're not in that folder, but I know I actually have downloaded a crap ton of rises and crash cymbals, splash cymbals, who's its and what's its. Is that a Little Mermaid reference? Good Lord. Sometimes, you guys, I worry about myself. Let's see what we got. We'll go sounds. We'll try to go sounds. Your library sounds. We'll go drums. We'll go one shots. And we'll go cymbals. Here's some of the. I like, especially for synthwave type stuff, I like a crash that has a long tail. Sounded weird. Let's add a few of these. See what we like. Let's make these stereo. Good. We want to make sure in this case, I don't want them to time stretch anything. So we come in here and make sure this is set to off. There may be an easier way to do that, by the way. I just don't know what it is. Like I've mentioned in other videos, I have been a Pro Tools user for 20 years. And I've used Logic sparingly in that time as well, but I much prefer Pro Tools. However, it's just a complete train wreck of a DAW at this point in time. It is so unstable that I can't use it anymore. So I've been using Splice. I have been using what the hell am I using? Logic, and it's very stable. And like I said, I've been using it too, but you know, it's I don't know everything. Like if it's for Pro Tools, I know all the keyboard shortcuts and everything. I only know a handful of keyboard shortcuts on here, but you know, the ones I must know. Let's hear what this crash sounds like. not sure it has the impact. I like the tail. Do I like the tail? Maybe this needs to be a shorter one. Okay, so that's a transition. I really like that for something like this where we jump. And the trick to these, my friends, is adding reverb on the tail end of it. No pun intended. Yep, like it. Can I get like a shorter hit here? Let's see. Oh, God, no. Yeah. Something maybe like that to pair with this. But maybe we also add that. You know what I mean? A lot of times this stuff is experimental. The tail is good. It's just a little too long in my opinion. Like I want it out by here. That didn't sound very natural though. Isn't there a way to... There we go. I think the reason it's sounding jarring a little bit is because we're losing... Like, interestingly, maybe we just need this damn thing to be the full length. Hey, never mind. Liked it where it was. The crash is a little loud. Let's bring this one down. And as I mentioned, so we'll call this long crash. We'll call this transition. Did I spell that right? Oh, whatever. Crash. We'll call this short crash. And let's add a... We've got this channel set up already. Drum verb. And again, I'm going to use Valhalla vintage verb. Stereo. Start there. What is this on? Not 70s. 80s. And we'll do... Actually, you know what plugin I think is awesome? Eventide's Black Hole. It's an older plugin, but man, is this thing awesome. It legit is so legit, you guys. I'm not even kidding. All right. Mix 100%. This thing will knock your socks off. Drum verb input needs to be a bus. 21, lucky 21. And Turn the gravity up. A little pre-delay. I'm telling you, this thing hit. No. Let's do. I'm like, what am I missing here? I must have accidentally undid my send. See how long this is so great. All right, let's see where we're at. Let's crashes just took my head off. Dude, I don't know if this is a little bit like cliche, but I'm hearing this sound and I'm reminded of the scene from Karate Kid. It's like, learn balance, learn balance. Should I rip that audio and put it in there? I don't know if there's anybody watching, but if you are, comment. Should I? Do you know the scene I'm talking about? I'm gonna do this so that I can like move it to another channel so I can slightly change the pitch of the mid song crash. That sounds like ass. Let's move it up. Yeah, too high, but what we can get away with here is just doing another round of this right into the chorus. Oh, that's one more thing I wanted to do. Those little fills by the by the orchestral part or wannabe orchestra patch, I want those turned up. There's two ways I can do this. Since I have the computer power, I'm going to duplicate it, cut those out, and turn them up on their own channel. I could automate it, obviously, but who wants to spend the time to do that right now? Right? My up key is busted on my computer, and it really makes resizing windows and shit very difficult. It's quite annoying. So we just take this and we turn it up a few dB so it really pops out. See? It's a nice little trick. And let's get these copied over to that crash on the way in. Yeah, dude, the notes being held out cannot run that long. You know what I'm saying? I feel the natural cutoff of it. Like here. Yep, and that'll clear space for the downbeat on the drum or the full. Actually, they need even more, a little bit more space. This might be too short. Yeah, it's fine, but it feels weird. The timing's off. Let's do here. Yep, I like it. Okay, do we need any other crashes? Chorus, mid-chorus? I feel like we should probably add another energy round. All right, just making sure the live stream isn't clipping out on you guys. This song is very long already. We do a little Billie Jean. Dude, that would be pretty epic. I'm doing it. Let's just hear what it sounds like. I'm gonna probably ask my brother, the great Johnny Oskam, to play guitar. If you guys, the guy's amazing, big talent, and a big fan of his. Even though we're related, I would have been a fan. Either way, you can hear some of his guitar work on one of Maxo, my synthwave synthwave projects releases from last year called Back Around. He does a ripping solo on that. It's got the greatest 80s tone. Sounds very much like Neil Schon or something. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. That's actually the next step. So, I've been doing these live streams for a couple days now. This is a two-parter. I started this one yesterday, but the whole point of this is eventually we're going to start writing lyrics and laying down vocals over it. But I thought it would be fun, and that'll be more hands-on lesson type thing. But I thought it would be fun for people who dip in and out, want to see the live stream a little bit, to see how the songs really were created from scratch. Because once we do the lyric lessons and the vocal lessons and the melody and the recording and that whole process, we'll really just be focusing in on that. So it'd be cool for everybody to kind of get a glimpse into how it was made and where it all came from, right? So I appreciate you saying that, and check back, because definitely that is coming very soon. This song is nearing the end, and that's when we'll make the jump into lyrics and all of that stuff. So I appreciate you saying that. And I'm excited. I really think this song could turn into something very cool. As I mentioned, my synthwave project is called Maxo. I have some songs out there. These songs eventually will be released onto Spotify, Apple Music, all that fun stuff as well. And so it's just cool. It's just cool for you guys to see the process from inception all the way through to release. So thank you for saying that. So should I do it though? I really feel like this is an homage. This is a direct rip. Let's just do it. I feel guilty doing it. I'm going to change it a little bit. Now I'm getting like... Is it because this is like sacrilegious? Right, a little change to it. Oops. Yeah, I think we just do it twice, just as like a little nod. Something kind of like that. Let me hear this. Gotta fix that. Yeah, and then dude, everybody's gonna know what this is, and that's okay. As long as Michael Jackson's camp doesn't come sue me, which they won't. So let's see if we can just pick this up. So this is just the bridge idea. I thought it would be fun to rip off Michael Jackson, and I don't know how I feel about it. How many bars is that? Was that 8, or is that like some weird 6 that I did again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let me hear it. Damn it. I guess I can make this 8 bars. Just loop that back one more time. No. Hold on. Dun, dun. Yeah. I have to move these. Dude, this is the best artist still. Yeah. That's true. That's true. There's a book out that's kind of highly recommended amongst productivity gurus on YouTube and such. It's called Steal Like an Artist. The guy wrote like a trilogy of books. I forget his name off the top of my head, so I apologize. But yeah, the book was called Steal Like an Artist. So the best artists do steal. This is a steal. I probably won't get away with this. I'll probably end up taking it out. But anyway, it is fun to mess around with. And to answer your question, the bass synth is a Serum patch. I have Serum and Serum 2. I don't know why I decided to load Serum 1 in this instance. I think it was just part of my template already. But it started as a preset. There's this company, I forget, years ago, they were on Echo. They're called Echo Soundworks. They had this Vivid pack. I got it for like 10, but I don't even remember, I'm being honest. But anyway, it's a preset in their bass called Good Verse Bass. And then you can see I renamed it. I changed its attack time and some of the decay and sustain and release and all those fun envelope filters. And then I have a transient designer on there adding some attack and taking away some sustain even further. And it just sounds good. I agree. I appreciate it. Yeah, this is gonna end up being this is gonna end up being 16 bars. So that's a good length of time for like a guitar solo, wouldn't you say? Yeah. Right, and then we would basically do the chorus is so long that I don't think doing a twice through chorus makes a whole ton of sense. Shit. Pardon my language. And maybe to shorten this up, maybe the fact that the chorus is 16 bars already is part of the problem, which is totally possible. And making the song longer than it needs to be, because right now we're at over 4 minutes at the end. Yeah, almost a 5-minute song. But if we cut the choruses in half at least, and then we did a double chorus on the end, that would save almost a minute. So that's something to think about. Of course, this is the basic outline of an arrangement of the track, right? But when we start putting lyrics and thematic element ideas into our lyrics, and we're telling a story, the story will dictate the arrangement. So it's nice to be able to. I haven't put some markers in here to keep track of everything, but it'll be really nice to be able to kind of slide things around, shorten things as need be, to fit the context of the story, the song, the lyrics, the alliteration of the lyrics. These are all things that I really deeply consider when I'm writing. Music and lyrics in particular is I want everything to flow. So this is just a jumping off point. Once we get into the nitty gritty, so to speak, we'll be able to tailor the song specifically to what it is that we're doing, the lyrics and whatnot. So I think you guys, we're like there. I think I copied over too much of this. This is the... What did I copy? I copied the wrong thing over, didn't I? Yeah, I did. This is why naming your stuff is a good idea. Like naming your tracks. And setting markers so you know what the hell. Did I just freeze this? After I was just singing Logic's praises. See, that doesn't jive super well. So we'll see. I'm going to give it a listen, friends, and then I'm probably going to call it quits for the night. I appreciate those of you who stopped in and commented. I'll maybe doing another live stream even tomorrow night. I think we're going to start putting lyrics to this. I think this is the song we're going to go with. I'm pretty happy with it. I think it has a lot of growth potential. I asked the question earlier. I so desperately want to put in the audio from The Karate Kid where he's Mr. Miyagi screaming, "Learn balance, must learn balance," during this opening where we have seagulls and stuff and the beach sounds, but I don't know. I'm a fan of the band The Midnight, and that's the kind of thing they would do, so I don't want to be too derivative. All right, here we go. Let's take a listen. synths in there too. I don't know. This is all just gonna be guitar solo anyway. Does need some synths under it. And that transition's a little ugly. Hey, maybe a Phil Collins style fill there too. What do you think? And we'll have to come up with some sort of ending. You're funny, my friend. Phil Collins style. You know, I have this kit that I built. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Open recent. I think it's called Minute After Midnight. And it has... These are not really, I guess, Phil Collins snares. They're not like gated, open bottom toms that are massive, but... Right? I mean, those are very synth wavy. So you're saying, okay, after the intro, something like that. All right, don't laugh at me. I'm gonna give it a whirl. Yeah, the top was a little too busy. And I played it goofy. Okay. It's not quite as long as a fill as something like In the Air Tonight, but it certainly is. I like those double. I don't think it needs to be there, but it would help the transition. That's what I was thinking, not too busy. Exactly. And that's just that double hit again, because it's just looping. I did intend to go back in here and just make these a little bit. That. Something like that. I don't know. Let's just see what that's on. It's also the wrong freaking kit. Which is fun. If we keep the 4 on the floor. I'm not sold on that, but I do just want to provide some variation to the... You know what's interesting? I was just accidentally recording the wrong channel with the with that battery kit that I loaded, and I quite liked the sound of it. Let me make sure I didn't lose my toms. Yeah, I did. Told you, battery sucks every time I gotta reload the kit. So annoying. Okay. But that kit itself that I created in battery, I never even tested on this song in terms of would it be a better drum sound for the song. Let's see what it sounds like. Okay, I like the other snare in the other kit, but I could be convinced that this kick sounds better. What we're gonna do... Goodness gracious. We're gonna keep the kick. And then let's mute this kick. All right. This kick has more beater, which I like, but it's not delivering in the way that the other kick was. So let's try layering them for a second. Excuse me. I don't know how this routing got all jacked up. I just want to hear with and without. That's with the 2 kicks layered. That's just the one. See, that has the weight. Let's bring this all the way down. There's like some reverb built into that drum sample too that's kind of making it breathe. Yeah, I really like that. Cool. See, happy accidents happen all the time. All right, guys. I think my wife is mad. No, I'm joking, but I do think I'm done. I think we got a lot done. And Wonder Arp, thanks, man. Thank you for chiming in. You just commented again. Hey, man. Collaboration. I'm a big fan. I can add some additional stuff if you want. Email me. Email me, my friend. Write, record, mix at Outlook. It's not Gmail. Write, record, mix, just like the channel name. Write, record, mix at gmail.com. Oh, God, I just effed it up. Scratch that. Write, record, mix at outlook.com. Write, record, mix at outlook.com. Shoot me an email. We can communicate. Maybe I can send you a rough or something, like an MP3. See what you can come up with. I think it's fun. I think it's a blast. So I appreciate your input tonight, and anybody else who joined in terms of input or watching or just got a kick out of some of this, even if you just dipped in for a few minutes. I appreciate your attention. I know we have a lot of things vying for our attention in today's world, but just watching someone create music can be fun. But there's a lot that goes into it, a lot of the sausage making, so to speak. It's not always pretty. And but this one's come along. This is a 2-day project, so to speak, that I've created primarily through live stream. And so the next one we're going to start diving into lyrics, subject matter, really trying to nail down the arrangement with lyrics, and then we'll ultimately record. I sing too, so we can ultimately record. You'll watch me record vocals, and we'll get this thing closer and closer to the finish line. So I appreciate it. Email me, like I said. I'd love to chat with you about it a little bit further. That goes for anybody out there, Wonder Arp and anybody else. But thank you again for your participation and just for hanging out with me for an hour or two. I don't even know how long we've been going. But I'll probably be back on tomorrow. Usually it's around the same time, like 9 to 9:30 Eastern time. And so, yeah, we'll see where we pick this thing back up tomorrow night, all right? I appreciate you guys. Subscribe, follow if you haven't already, so you get notified about live streams and new content coming out. And yeah, I will be talking or seeing you guys down the road.